Oh, shit. Here we go again.
The Champions League playoffs second legs kick off this week, and we will be finding out which one of these teams will be advancing to the round of 16. And this is where things get really serious because it's now win or go home, do or die. And on Wednesday at the Bernabeu, we got a huge matchup where Manchester City will be taking on Real Madrid. And it's just a shame that this matchup had to come in basically the glorified round of 32 in this new Champions League format, right? We know that this is the UCL Clasico, right? This is the matchup that we get every single year. And heading into this season, you would have thought that Real Madrid versus Man City would either be the final or the semis, right? Nobody would have thought that these two teams would be fighting it out just to qualify for the round of 16. But when you mess around in the Champions League and you don't win some of the easier games that you have, this is what happens, right? But you guys already know what I'm about to say. This is a must-win game. We cannot afford to be knocked out of the Champions League before the round of 16. That would be a disaster. And if we do not qualify for the next round, I want Carlo Ancelotti sacked. I just want you guys to know this right now. There's no room for error here. But look, shout out to everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and get in the comment section and let me know what you are thinking for this match. We're going to talk about both teams, and then at the end, I will be building the predicted starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti will put out there. But let's just get straight into it because it's so much things that we got to cover during this video. Now, we're going to start off with Real Madrid as we always do, right? And here is the Champions League table, right? We did not come in the top 8. We finished 11th, which is actually crazy because we were only 1 point off of qualification. And you guys already know how I feel about our season so far. I think that we have been ass since this season has kicked off for a large part of it. Now, I know that the second half, right, we've had a little bit of better form, but just in general, I've not been very impressed by Real Madrid. It's been very underwhelming, especially in the competition that we are the kings of, right? And as I said in my last preview before we played Man City, if you would have told me that in this new Champions League format, the top 8 teams automatically qualify for the round of 16. And if you would have said that Real Madrid would not have been in that top 8, I'd have said that you were lying. But 11th, we have to play these playoff games. And unfortunately for us, where other teams got easier matchups, we some way, somehow end up having to play Manchester City for the 4th time in like the last, 5 years or something crazy like that? We see them all the time. It's damn near a rivalry at this point. And we got to go cook them, right? We all remember that banner that they put out there going at Florentino Perez and Vinicius with the Ballon d'Or, talking about some cry your hearts out. All right, fair enough. Watching you guys come to the Bernabeu, it's going to be serious. But look, 11th in the UCL, right? In the 8 games that we played, we only won 5 of them, and we lost 3. Now, we did have a pretty tough 8 games, to be fair. But losing to Lille is a disgrace. Losing to a pretty mediocre AC Milan team is a disgrace. We did play Liverpool, whatever, right? We should have did a lot better in that match. But the UCL this season for us, it's just not been that good. And then if you want to look at how we're doing in La Liga, I mean, look, at the time of me recording this video, we are sitting top of the table. But that's because Barcelona have not played yet. They're about to start their game. And if Barcelona win, they will go top of the league on goal difference because we'll both have 51 points. But this is to say, it's just all kind of falling apart right now. Like the form that we've been on these recent few weeks, and we'll look at it, but it's just been pretty mediocre. The fact that I drew against, you know what? Let's not even get into it fully. Point is, the La Liga title race is heating up, right? We'll talk about our form in a second, but In 24 games, we've won 15. We've drawn like what, 6? And we've lost 3. It's not good enough. I think La Liga has the most interesting title race going on right now. And the reason why I think our form has just been so mid is because in our last 3 league matches, we have 0 wins. We lost to Espanyol, we drew against Atleti, and then we just drew against Osasuna. So, not to talk about the whole season in general, right? Because I do just want to focus on what has happened since we last played Man City, which was only a week ago. But after we got the 3-2 win at the Etihad, we went out there and got a 1-1 draw against Osasuna. It's actually crazy to think about. But we will break down that game in a few minutes. What I do want to speak on, though, is the first leg that we had against Man City. 3-2 victory. And to be honest, while a lot of people were very positive about the win, I still thought it wasn't that good of a performance. Now, I definitely am happy that we got the victory, right? The first time that we've beaten Man City at the Etihad in regular time. So that was huge. But I think we were so wasteful in this game. We should have scored 5 or 6 goals. The amount of chances that we missed is crazy. And I know that people think that just because Man City lost this first leg, that it's over and that they're going to come to the Bernabeu and just get slapped up. I don't believe that. It's going to be a very hard game. I don't care how trash Man City have been this season. You cannot just write them off. You can't just say that it's over with all the talent that they have and with the form that they're going to be coming into this game on that we'll talk about a little bit later. We had the chance to kill this leg. And instead, we had to win it late, right? Jude got the winner at the end. Ederson made a huge mistake. But look, nonetheless, there are positive takeaways, right? We got the dub. Nobody got a yellow card in this game. So everyone will be available for the second leg. And that's going to be massive, you know? But look, Haaland scored the first goal. Then Haaland also scored the second goal as well. Fluky penalty. But for us, right, Mbappe scored. Then Brahim Diaz came off the bench and scored in like the 86th minute. And then Jude scored the winner right at the end. But we had so many chances. Mbappe missed some good chances, right? Jude missed a chance. I thought that Vinicius in the first half was right? I think he did have a solid game, though. But the second half, that's where Vinicius actually woke up. Point is, I can just tell you right now, chat, this game on Wednesday is going to be very stressful, right? But the last game that we played, right, after we beat Man City, as I said earlier, we got a 1-1 draw against Osasuna. We've bottled La Liga, by the way, right? We had a nice little comfy gap between us and Atleti, between us and Barcelona, and we fumbled it, right? As I said, our last 3 league matches, we've not won. 2 draws and 1 loss. It's unacceptable. And by the time that we even play Man City on Wednesday, there's a good possibility that we're not going to be sitting top of the league anymore. And this game was a disgrace. I know that people want to focus more so on the referees, but not me. Yes, the ref made some bad calls during this match. But in my opinion, we still did enough to win this game. We had chances that we missed. Vinicius, in the first 5 minutes, missing a wide open net with a header. He also had another chance that he didn't capitalize on. Now, Jude got a red card, was sent off. That was a disgrace. He said fuck off, and the ref gave him a straight red. That makes no sense. That should have been a yellow card. I think that we can all agree that the referees have something against Real Madrid. Because we call them out for their bad decisions, I think that they're trying to make a statement. But we cannot only focus on the refs. We have to focus on how mediocre we were in the final third. Osasuna got a penalty. Camavinga cost us. Camavinga has to be more careful in the box. I think Thibaut Courtois had a good game. Rodrigo came off the bench, didn't really do much. Carlo Ancelotti, again in this game, not making any subs. The only sub that this guy made was Rodrigo. We're playing with 10 men. We're struggling to break down Osasuna. And this manager does not make any tactical adjustments. This guy, I love Carlo for all that he's done, but it's time to go. I cannot wait for Carlo to no longer be our manager, because this season has just exposed how naive he is tactically. No Arda Güler, no Endrick. Luka Modric playing 90-plus minutes against Osasuna. And I thought Luka Modric, by the way, that first half was amazing. Mbappe scored the opening goal, but we didn't do enough. Again, the referee was pretty trash in this game, right? Let's not lie and say that, you know, he definitely does hold some blame. But for me, a majority of that blame needs to be on us, because we did have chances to put away this game. But, you know what I'm saying? Look, this is the last game that we played. So this is the form that we're going to be heading into the Man City matchup on, drawing against Osasuna. But look, let me know what you guys are saying for Real Madrid, right? Anything that's on your mind concerning the last few games, and let me know what you're saying for us. Now, let's talk about the ops, right? We got to go and obviously take care of business against Manchester City, right? And if you look at the Champions League, we have been bad in the group stage. Technically, it's the group stage, in my opinion. But Man City were worse, right? Like, these guys came 22nd. Do you know how crazy that is for Man City to barely be qualifying for the playoffs? And of course, they qualified in the spot that would have made them eligible to go against us. I already knew that when it was announced that we were going to either be playing Celtic or Man City, I knew it was going to be Man City. I don't think anybody is surprised that we got Man City. It's literally fate at this point. I think we're going to end up playing Man City every single year in the Champions League for the rest of my life, okay? But Man City were awful. I mean, in the 8 games that they played, right? They only won 3. They drew twice, and they lost 3 times. They only had a +4 goal difference. Like, that is crazy. And we all know how mediocre Man City have been this season, right? Because even in the Premier League, they've won it the last 4 years in a row. But they've fallen off of a cliff this season. Now, earlier in the season would have been the best time to play Man City. But since the January transfer window, right, they've made some signings. Well, not some. They've made a few signings. They spent over $200 million to fix the issues that they have. And they kind of are getting back on track. So right now, right, they are 4th in the Prem, right? They've won 13 games out of 25 or 26. They only have 5 draws, 7 losses, plus 17 goal difference. And in their last 5 Prem games, they have 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So as I said, their form is turning around. And I actually do think that Man City will finish in the top 4 this season. I think that they will pass Nottingham Forest, and I think that they will finish 3rd, in my opinion. But as I said, right, their form's turned around in terms of just like how they're playing. For example, after they lost to us in the first leg, they had a really tough matchup against Newcastle. And I think a lot of people thought that maybe they struggled this game and that they would draw. But chat, I mean, look, like, let's actually talk about their game against Newcastle the last time that they played. They put belt to ass. 4-0. Omar Mamouche hat trick. Are you serious? They absolutely dominated Newcastle, a team who are also, you know, trying to fight for that top 4. Newcastle this season have been very impressive. And I don't think anybody saw a 4-0 ass whipping from Man City coming. Let's just be very honest. Omar Mamouche is now on some great form, right? Haaland, I believe, got an assist. Savio was cooking. Oh, my goodness me. They absolutely smothered Newcastle. Like, Newcastle only had, like, 1 big chance this game. They didn't really do much. It was all Man City. So this is amazing form for them to be coming into that second leg on. They're going to feel super confident. And this is why when people just try and discount Man City and say, oh, well, just because they struggled at the start of the season. Brother, look at what they've done in January. Unlike us, we didn't spend money in January. They did. They brought on Omar Mamouche. They brought in Nico Gonzalez to fix up their midfield on deadline day. Right? They signed Victor Reis, the young Brazilian center back that we were looking at. They signed Abdulkadir Kushanov, the young player from, I forget the country, but we were linked to him as well. Man City have shown ambition. And I'm telling you right now, do not think that it's going to be a walk in the park for us. But let's look at some of the injuries that they have, right? So in that Newcastle game, Erling Haaland did get injured. But Fabrizio Romano has already come out and confirmed that Haaland will be available and ready to play against us. So I know that he's listed as doubtful right here, but he is fine. They were saying that it was a non-contact injury. And at first, you guys know non-contact injuries can be very serious. But no, Erling Haaland, he is fine, right? Akanji will not be available for this game. Jack Grealish with a groin injury. Who knows what's going on there, right? Rodri is out, obviously, towards ACL. And then Oscar Bob, right? Who knows if he will be making the bench for this game or not. But here are some of the injuries that they have. Again, Erling Haaland, they have said will be available for this match. And then I just want to show you guys really quickly the expected starting 11 for Man City in this game. So according to SofaScore, they think that it will be a 4-2-3-1, which is obviously what Man City plays. And, you know, they're saying that Ederson will be in goal, Rico Lewis at right back, Ruben Diaz and John Stones as the center back, Vardiol as the left back. And then they're also saying the double pivot will be Bernardo Silva with Nico Gonzalez. And then in attack, Phil Foden on the right. They're saying that De Bruyne will start this game, Marmouche on the left, and then Haaland up front. So this should be a very, very good starting 11 for Man City. And again, you cannot write them off just because of the poor form that they've been on, right? This is a very good starting 11. This is starting 11 that I don't even really want to play against. And again, I'm super annoyed with the fact that I'm even in these playoffs. The fact that I have to play Man City just to possibly face up against either Atleti or Bayer Leverkusen in the round of 16 is ridiculous. But it does make it very exciting because one of the big boys will be knocked out very early, and it just better not be us. But let me know, chat. What are you guys saying for Manchester City, right? Are you nervous? And if you're a City fan watching this, let me know how you feel about this game as well. If you guys want to see my combined starting 11, we're not going to do that on this video, but make sure to go check out the match preview that I dropped for the first leg where I talk about all those things in more depth, right? But let's now talk about some other news with Real Madrid, right? So we all know that we had a little injury crisis going on at the club, but according to reports, and I saw pictures of training today, Antonio Rudiger and David Alaba are both back, and they will be available for this match. Thank you, God. Now, I do want to say, right, that Tchouaméni has not been bad at center back these last few weeks. Tchouaméni has actually played very well. But, of course, I would much rather have Antonio Rudiger next to Raul Asensio. And then we can put Tchouaméni back into the midfield. So, if they are fit, right? They're saying that if Rudiger is feeling 100%, he will start this game. And I do believe that Rudiger will start. I think Alaba will be the player that comes off, will not come off the bench, but he won't start this game, right? I think Alaba will just be on the bench in case we need a center back option. But hopefully Rudiger is 100% because he's in training and he will be in the squad, right? But huge boost for us in our defense. Now, just in terms of the other injury news that we have, right? Lucas Vazquez is not going to be available for this game. There was a possibility that Lucas Vazquez would have been back for this match, but I think that he has to recover a little bit more. So no issues there, right? I know a lot of people have been happy with Lucas Vazquez being injured, right? We're not one of those. Now, would I lie and say that I'm sad that Vazquez is out? No, I'm not sad that he's injured, but I definitely do wish him a speedy recovery. But I wasn't trying to see Lucas Vazquez start against Man City anyways, right? I think that Fede Valverde is the best option at right back. Imagine Savio and Omar Mamouche running at Lucas Vazquez. It would be GG's for us. He would be getting fried. He would be getting cooked. He would be getting smoked. He would be getting sacrificed to the football gods. So Vazquez is out, and it kind of is a blessing in disguise. Now, other injuries, right? Eder Militao towards ACL. Danny Carvajal towards ACL. Jude Bellingham will be available for this match. I believe that his red card stuff will only have effect in La Liga, not in the UCL. So here are the injury updates that we have. But let's get into my favorite part of every match preview, and that is building the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti needs to put out there. Of course, I need to know what you guys are saying about this, right? And get in the comment section to let me know. But obviously, I think that we're going to be out there in the 4-2-3-1. And in goal, I think Thibaut Courtois will start. Nobody's going to have any questions about this. Thibaut Courtois, best goalkeeper in the world. And I think he will be busy on Wednesday, right? We're going to need him to be on his absolute best because we know that Man City's attack, they're not going to sit back, and they're already losing this game. So they're going to come out very fast, okay? Now, at right back, got to go Valverde again, right? No Lucas Vazquez. So it only makes sense that Valverde starts at right back again, right? I think for these big games, Valverde needs to be the right back just regardless of who's fit, right? He's solid defensively, right? Going forward, he can do that as well from this position. And I just think that he's one of the best players in the world. He's so versatile, bro. If you need Valverde at right back, he can do a good job. If you need him to play in that pivot, he can do it. If you need him on the right wing, he can do it. This guy's an absolute monster, right? And I feel very confident with him in that back line. Now, at right center back, I am going with Asensio, right? I think Raul Asensio has been amazing for us this season. I think that Raul Asensio has essentially saved our season because when we were having that defensive crisis, if it was not for his performances, we would have had to play Jesus Vallejo, who is trash, okay? And we all know that we needed center backs. The club decided to not make any signings. Raul Asensio has saved our season. This guy has been our best defender this season. He is a fantastic player. And I think that Raul Asensio needs to be starting for us every single match as long as he's fit. What a player he is. And he had a very good performance against Man City in that first leg. Now, at left center back, I'm going Rudiger. I think that Rudiger will be available for this match. And if Rudiger is fit, he must start. He must. We're going to need him, right? We saw last season that after we knocked Man City out the Champions League with the penalty shootout, when Rudiger went back to Madrid, he emptied out his pocket and Erling Haaland fell out, okay? This guy, Rudiger, even though he's not been at the same levels that he was last season, he is still one of the best defenders. So if he is fit for this game, I saw pictures of him in training. He needs to start. Tchouaméni does not need to be in the back line for this match unless a new update comes out. But at left back, I think that you got to go Mendy again, just for the defensive presence alone, right? Fran Garcia, we know that he is the better left back in terms of helping us attack. But in a game like this, where we're going to need to be very solid defensively, I think Ferland Mendy will start this game again. And Fran Garcia started against Osasuna. And I think Carlos just been like rotating them, if that makes sense. Now, in the midfield, right, I think that you got to go Tchouaméni in the pivot. Tchouaméni, I know that he's been at center back for a lot of this season, but as a defensive midfielder, Tchouaméni is a monster. Tchouaméni is one of the best DMs in the world, right? And I think that he needs to go back there. Camavinga has been messing up lately. Camavinga has been making a lot of mistakes. So I think let him come off the bench. Let Tchouaméni start this game in the midfield. And then next to him, you have to go Dani Ceballos, who has been amazing over the last few months of the season. I don't see how you drop Dani Ceballos, especially when Valverde is playing at right back. Luka Modric played 90-plus minutes against Osasuna. So unless you're telling me that Carlo's going to do Tchouaméni and Camavinga, which I would not, I think Dani Ceballos needs to start this game. I know that in the last game that we played against Man City, he did give up a penalty. He fouled Phil Foden, whose foot was on the line. That was a costly mistake. But I wouldn't bench him because of that, right? I think Dani Ceballos is one of our most technically gifted midfielders, and he needs to be starting in that double pivot next to Tchouaméni. Now, on the right, I think that Rodrigo must return to the starting 11. Now, I think Rodrigo on that first leg was very underwhelming, right? This is Man City's owner. I expected a goal to come from Rodrigo, but in this second leg, I expect him to have a big game, right? Rodrigo has been on some good form these last few weeks. It's gone down a little bit, but right, Rodrigo is still very important. And in a game like this, there's a reason why he was rested against Osasuna, right? There's a reason why Brahim Diaz started this game. I fully believe that Rodrigo will be at right wing, and I think that he will cook this match. I'm telling you right now, this is the best Bengali player that we know. Rodrigo is my favorite player at the club. I think he will cook. He always has a good game whenever we play Man City, okay? So I'm expecting him to get some revenge in this second leg. Now, in the 10, I'm going with Jude, right? I think Jude, he needs to have a big performance this game. He did score the winner last week, but he also missed a really good goal scoring opportunity as well that could have gave us more of a advantage heading into this match. So for me, Jude, right, he has to make up for that red card, because even though the ref should have never just sent him off like that, I think we all realize that the ref is a pussy, bro. Like, he should have gotten just a yellow. But Jude cannot keep cursing at these referees, chat. He curses every single week. And if this was the Premier League, Jude would get booked a lot more. I just think that sometimes the refs don't understand him, so he gets away with it. But he should have never been sent off with that. And now Jude has to make it up for that with the masterclass of a performance on Wednesday at the Bernabeu, right? Now, on the left, Vinicius, boy. Look, Vinny, since January has started, right, since the new year has got underway, Vinicius has been trash. Let's just be very honest. For a player that we all hold in very high regard, Vinicius has been very underwhelming. This guy said he was going to give 10 times more after missing out on the Ballon d'Or. This guy is doing 10 times less. He's not looked good at all. Now, you guys know I am a massive fan of Vinicius, and I don't care what anybody tells me. We are still a better team when Vinicius is playing. But he needs to pick up these performances, because right now, he's on a very mediocre run of form. And in the second leg, or not the second leg, but in the second half of these games, he's been playing well. But it's the start of these games that he's been more so anonymous. I need Vinny to have a big performance, bro. This guy is considered one of the best players in the world. Vinicius, we are all relying on you, brother. We all expect so much more. That's why you get criticized. Trust me, I know that a lot of people think that Vinicius gets abuse, but nobody would be giving Vinicius all this criticism if we didn't expect more from him. So, again, let me know. Vinicius, you have some questions to answer. They're going to probably start Rico Lewis at right back. If you don't cook man like Zero from holes, then there's going to be some problems, bruv. But up front, Mbappe, right? Mbappe scored a good goal. Even though, let's be honest, he didn't hit it like he wanted, but I think he hit it perfectly because it ended up in the back of the net, right? Mbappe's form has been better second half of the season, right? First half was mid, second half, I think that Mbappe's back, right? He also scored the only goal that we had against Osasuna. Look, I expect Mbappe to have a big performance. This is the biggest game of our season so far. It does not get much bigger than this. We have a bunch of big game players. We have match winners in this side. And that's why I feel very confident heading into this second leg. But that wouldn't mean that I'm not nervous as well. So let me know what you guys are saying for my predicted starting 11, right? I think this is the best team that we can put out there to get a result. And I definitely do expect us to go out there and cook. But look, man, big up to everybody that's watching, right? Make sure that you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. We will be doing a live watch along for this game. You guys do not want to miss it, right? And again, get in the comment section. Let me know what you're saying for this match. And also drop your predicted scoreline for this game. I want to wrap this up in 90 minutes. I don't want to go into extra time. I don't want to go to penalties. Let's get the job done in regular time, and let's focus on the next round of the UCL. But we must advance. It would be a disgrace for Real Madrid to not be in the round of 16. But this new Champions League format is giving us quite a few surprises. But look, big up to your damn selves. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Again, turn on those post notifications and join the Discord. The link is pinned in the comment section. Holla Madrid!